Welcome to the online tutorial on UBC's research guides and how they can help support your research assignments. Whether you are a first-year undergraduate student, a graduate, or PhD student, this tutorial intends to provide an overview of an underused information resource, research guides. In this tutorial, I will explain why you should consider using research guides when beginning a research assignment, where to find them, and most importantly, what a research guide is and how to use it. UBC's instructors want students to use scholarly, peer-reviewed information resources for research assignments. However, many students feel overwhelmed with the amount of information UBC Library offers. Many students will start their research using UBC's online library catalog and use the basic search bar to search terms that best describe the information they are hoping to retrieve. However, when searching for information this way, most students will retrieve an unmanageable amount of results, most of which don't seem to relate to their research topic, or worse, retrieve few or no results. Is there an easier approach? Is there some way to search the library knowing you're using the best resources for your subject? The answer is yes, through UBC's research guides. There are a couple ways to locate UBC's research guides. The first is through the library's website. On the library's homepage, nestled under the Get Research Help link, is the sublink Finding Resources. By clicking that link, you'll be brought to the following web page. This research help page lists 4 main categories to help you with your research, and you may wish to explore them later. In the Finding Resources section of the web page, at the top is a link to the research guides. Similarly, on the library's homepage, you can find the research guides under the pull-down menu Get Research Help, nestled under the Finding Resources heading. Lastly, you can go to the library search icon, the magnifying glass located on the top right corner of the library's homepage, and type Research Guides into the search box to retrieve a link to the research guides. When you click on the link, it will bring you to the Finding Resources section of the Research Help webpage. Clicking on the Research Guides link will take you to the Research Guides homepage. A research guide is a web page created by librarians for library users. Research guides are meant to help library users with their research. They are usually course or subject specific and contain web links to authoritative or primary sources. These include electronic databases, print or online materials, subject-specific websites, and much more. This is the home page for UBC Library Research Guides. Notice the 4 different categories or options to search for a suitable research guide. The first category, Subject Guides, lists the subjects that research guides have been created for. The next category, Course Guides, contains research guides created for individual courses at specific UBC campuses. Browse All Guides, A to Z, lists research guides in alphabetical order. And lastly, Guides by Type organizes the guides into 4 types. In the Subject Guide section, each listed subject contains at least 1 guide. It is important to note sometimes the guide can be a general overview to the subject. For example, under the subject Plant Science is listed as a general research guide for the subject Plant Science. Other times, a subject may have several guides associated with it, which focus on specific areas of research. For example, the subject of Anthropology has 5 guides associated with it. It is important to note guides may exist under more than one subject. For example, under the subject Anthropology, the guide First Nation Language of British Columbia is listed. This guide also exists under the subjects Canadian Studies, First Nation Studies, and Linguistics. This could be helpful if you can't find a research guide under a subject you thought it suited. The guide may exist under a different subject. If you are having difficulty finding your subject, try using the search bar at the top right of the research guide's homepage. Let's try music as an example. When you type music into the search bar, 216 pages are retrieved. The first result displayed is Canadian music, which is one page in the music guide, research guide. If you are still not finding the research guide you were looking for, try to narrow your search by subject. On the right is an option to filter by subject by selecting the subject of interest, in this case, music. Notice how the search results are refined to 27 pages. Clicking on the music link will access the music research guide. This is the music research guide, and it is managed by the music librarian Kevin Madill. Each research guide is managed by a different librarian at UBC. Why is this important? Having a librarian manage these guides guarantees the resources within the guide are subject specific, meaning they're specific to your subject of interest, and they are authoritative information sources. An important point to remember, the librarian who manages the research guide is also the UBC liaison librarian for this subject, meaning they are a subject specialist in this area of study. You can contact them to get research help. Exploring the section Key Resources in the Music Research Guide, this particular section displays UBC subscriptions to streaming sites, which may be useful in your research. On the left of the Music Research Guide is a column of important information resources listed by category. To explore what books are recommended, click the Books tab. A list of dictionaries and encyclopedias are displayed, including links to both print and online formats. Clicking the eBooks link will transfer you to the eBook portal for music books. Similarly, when we look at the category Articles, a page of music-related databases is displayed. It is important to note not all research guides look the same. They may vary in their layout, organization, and design. Next, let's look at the course guides. The course guides have been organized between courses held at the Vancouver campus and those for the Okanagan campus. Not every course is going to have a course guide, but it is helpful to check before starting your research because you never know. Let's look at the Vancouver campus course guide. Anthropology 301 as our example. You can see the librarian notes this is a unique guide that was created specifically for this version of the course, taught by a specific professor, Dr. Block. This guide displays links to authoritative information sources such as books, databases, maps, government documents, and statistics as seen in the left-hand column. Moving forward in our overview, let's briefly explore another section, Guides by Type. This section is organized into 4 types. Notice how these guides overlap with the sections above. Clicking the tutorial guide link, you'll find helpful tutorials for summons, citing resources, the basic library skills tutorial, which is wonderful for quick and effective reminders how to use the library, and many more helpful tutorials to support your research. The general purpose guides are also worth exploring. For example, the Finding and Using Images guides can help you understand how to use images in your research without infringing on copyright. And this concludes our tutorial of the UBC research guides. Guides can be created under specific course research guides or under their subject research guides. Research guides are created by UBC librarians to help support students with their research. UBC librarians manage research guides, are subject specialists, and they are your liaison librarian. Contact your liaison librarian for research help. They can offer valuable support for your research. Connect with the library on Facebook or Twitter and let us know what you think of this tutorial.